People are seeing the people in Ireland actually doing this for a living now, because they can see the sheer amount of stuff that we're outputting, like, and these books are being sold all over the world, and we've gone from, publishing our own kind of small press titles to like now covering the entire wealth of comic books, which is from the person who just creates their own book to like selling Marvel titles all around the world. Like,
I guess the big blockbuster graphic novels are probably selling, Spider-Man and the like. But what I think is interesting is that before we started something like Blood Upon the Rose, you had one or two independent folk that just went out and make their own comic book, and you can afford to do that now. But when I remember walking around Forbidden Planet or Sub-City, and you'd never find an Irish comic book, you just, I don't think they existed.
When you're producing any comic and you put it on a shelf in a comic shop, that comic is immediately competing with, let's say, Batman, Superman, which sells, I don't know, a couple of 100,000 copies an issue. And so why should a retailer sacrifice valuable, lucrative shelf space to compete with your book? And I've always, over time, you get very philosophical about some of these things. Over time, I thought to myself, if we had thought about it in that way when we began Lightning Strike, I probably wouldn't have gone through with issue 1.
Like, some of the most famous and some of the best cartoonists don't make a full living doing it. So they have to do extra illustration work, or they're involved in other forms in order to make rent. So I think that's just something that we have to do. So if you're making work, if you're making personal work that isn't for, what am I trying to say? You have to have a job.
The most common question I got 4 or 5 years ago was like, so is this like an actual job or what? And I haven't been asked that in years, which is really, really nice, so the perspective of it, the perception of it from people is definitely changing that way. From the kind of general public, where like they realize, oh, okay, so you draw loads of pictures for a company that publishes them, so obviously you get paid for doing that. So it is like a real job, like.
Eventually people are just going to have all of your stock and you're just not going to be able to sell it. Like, I think there's several thousand people in Ireland who have a green Totoro hanging up in their room somewhere.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure that everyone in Ireland at the moment
has your propaganda.
Has my Pokemon propaganda poster. Everyone in Ireland has one of those. But so yeah, like, it's a small market, but like I said, it's a very, very friendly market as well. I haven't, like, there's been a couple of bad eggs, but like in essential, I've had nothing but good experiences across my time working in
no one's spat in our faces quite yet.
Because that can happen. And I've worked retail, I know.